Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much, Union Square community, for coming out in support of some incredible news that we have to share today. I would like to get started right away. I'm Marissa Rodriguez with the Union Square Alliance, and I have the great pleasure of introducing our mayor, Mayor London Breed. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. It is great to be here in Union Square. You know, over the years, we have seen a lot of changes in our city. No one could have ever anticipated that we'd experience a global pandemic that really challenged us like never before. And what we saw during that pandemic is San Franciscans coming together and rise to the occasion. And this city was applauded for our efforts at that time when we made fast and swift emergency decisions to help save lives. That's what San Francisco is about. Now what we're seeing all over is others who are trying to define what San Francisco's narrative is. And we know that like any other major city, we have our challenges. We know like any other major city, they struggled through the pandemic, and some cities, especially their downtown corridors, may be coming back a little bit faster than we are. But we also know that unlike other cities, this is San Francisco, one of the most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And when we come together and we make the kinds of decisions necessary to improve the lives of people in this city, we know what's possible. Making the investments to this downtown corridor. Now we know that it's not just because of the challenges of what happens in San Francisco that the downtown San Francisco area struggled. Retail is struggling all over. Things have changed. Online purchasing and taxes and other things and that you can count to and talk about that contribute to the challenges that exist, which means that as a city, we have to think differently. We can't just focus on limiting what can happen downtown. Only retail, only hotels. We have to think about how do we integrate the various spaces necessary in order to provide diverse uses of how downtown comes to life. Not just during the 9 to 5 hour or during the holidays when sometimes Macy's might close at 11 o'clock, but year-round, night markets, events, activities, housing, all the things that make for a thriving city. And so part of that means we have to do a few things. Number one, we have to change the landscape, and we have to change our policies in San Francisco. Supervisor Peskin isn't here with us today, but he and I are working hand in hand to make projects like some of our empty office spaces into mixed uses, providing retail, providing office, providing lab space, because we know that biotech and artificial intelligence are growing industries in San Francisco where we have the talent. It's why everyone wants to be here. San Francisco is the reason why that the state of California has bypassed Germany and become this state alone, the fourth largest economy in the world, because people want to be in San Francisco because this is where it is. This is where the talent is. And part of what we have to do is we have to make changes. We have to change the narrative, but we also have to change the conditions. We know what the problems are. We're not blind. We're not immune from the challenges. We know people are struggling. We know they're struggling from addiction. We know that they're struggling in poverty. These are conditions I grew up in and lived in my life in this city, not too far from this downtown. So the investments are important. The changes to our city are important. How we work together to provide safety for the people of this city is important. And today we're here with our ambassadors, with our police, with our businesses, with our community to talk about a few of those changes that are necessary to improve the conditions. The vacancy rates here are high. What do we need to do? Number one, we need to make it easier for people to do business in this city. And number two, we need to change the conditions. And today, I'm here to announce that part of the change in those conditions include along this Powell Street corridor, from the cable cars all the way up here to Union Square, People come to this block, this area from all over the world, and they see and they want to ride the cable cars, and they look around and they wonder, where are the other places? Where are the other stores to go to? What are the other things I can see in San Francisco? Well, for that corridor, the city and county of San Francisco is pledging to make a $6 million investment. Now, what will that do? That will be street improvements to change the conditions, to make the streets, the sidewalks wider, the streets more inviting, easier to get on the cable cars. And the other thing it will do is provide support for those who want to start businesses along that area. Resources around tenant improvements. We have first year free, so we're waiving fees when you want to do business in San Francisco, anywhere in San Francisco, so that we get rid of the bureaucracy and the expense of starting your own business. But in this particular corridor, if you want to conduct business, if you want to open a new store, our goal is to provide you the resource in order to do the build out necessary to get business going in this corridor. Now, I'll tell you, I'm really proud of some of the things that we did on what was a notorious block of 3rd and Newcomb. There used to be an extremely high vacancy rate, and I recently visited the area, and because we made significant investment in the community, businesses that are for the community and by the community, we have seen those storefronts filled with hair shops and a fitness location and restaurants and other things that the community wants. And we need to do more of that in various commercial corridors in San Francisco to not only create opportunities for business, but to create jobs and create a safer, more secure environment, not just downtown, but all over the city. Part of these investments, along with numerous other investments, I'll be talking about when I announce my new budget that will be coming out at the beginning of June. Because we know it's going to take investments, it's going to take policy changes, and it's going to take working together with the community to really showcase San Francisco in a light that we know exists, the light that we're experiencing right now here today. And before I turn it over to our Police Chief Bill Scott to talk about our various safety issues, let me just say what happened recently. J.P. Morgan Chase was not sure they were going to come back to San Francisco. We came together and we made a number of commitments to ensure that their experience was a good one. And in fact, after that convention, I recently got a letter saying how grateful they were for all the changes to see that the city and the investments we're making to clean up the streets and to keep people safe. They saw that we made improvements, and they're looking forward to coming back next year. But it's not just about J.P. Morgan Chase and what they do. The revenues created from the attendees help us to invest the resources necessary to deal with the challenges around homelessness and other issues that continue to plague our city. We need tourism. We need business for job opportunities. We need that tax base, and the people of the city, they need employment opportunities and opportunities to start their businesses. So yes, we are going to focus hard on our economic recovery, and we're going to focus hard on making sure that people understand what we are as a city, not what others say we are. We're going to focus hard on making sure that every person in this city is safe. And I know that this is a very challenging time and emotions are really high. But at the end of the day, we got to start somewhere. San Francisco is not the doom loom that everyone says it is. We are a great city. We are a resilient city. We have come back from earthquakes and pandemics and other challenges before, and there is no doubt in my mind that with the investments and the work we're going to do together, that we'll emerge stronger than we ever have before. And with that, I want to turn it over to our Police Chief, Bill Scott. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Reed, for your leadership. And let me just start by piggybacking on some of the mayor's comments. This is a team. This is a team effort. And there are too many names out here to call, so I won't call all of the names out here. But what I do want to say is there are so many people that are standing in front of you that are behind the scenes, that are making things happen, that are changing the perception of this city and changing the narrative. And let me start by saying with our ambassadors, our welcome ambassadors, our SFPD ambassadors that are standing behind me, all the people that make the experiences of being in this city a good experience. And that's what this is about. Public safety and policing weaves through the fabric of all that. And I'm here to talk a little bit about what we are doing, thanks to the mayor's leadership, thanks to the support that we've gotten from many, many people in this city, including our Board of Supervisors, to make sure that we invest in the San Francisco Police Department. Just recently, the mayor put forth a $25 million+ budget supplemental. This had never happened before. That is tremendous in terms of what it has done to allow us to be able to be out here. You see officers all around Union Square on Footbeat. I just left the Tenderloin. Officers in the Tenderloin. Officers in UN Plaza. We have ambassadors all across the city. We would not be able to do those things if it weren't for the leadership of the mayor and that supplemental. We have to sustain it. We have to continue to keep going and sustain that effort, because sustainability is part of our success. Sustainability. I'm going to say that word over and over again. Now, we have our public safety partners here. We have the Park Rangers, Chief Murphy. We have BART Police. We have commanders and deputy chiefs from BART Police. We have a partnership, thanks to our mayor and our governor, with CHP, not too far from here, only blocks away. All those things matter, because we want people, when they come to this city, when they're getting to this city, to enjoy their experiences on our public transportation, to enjoy their experiences as they walk to wherever they're walking to. When they park their cars, to make sure that they don't come back to a pile of broken glass and everything gone from their cars. Those things are critically important. And those are things that we are committed to sustaining and making better. Now, statistically, year to date, we're doing better. Let's make no mistakes about it. The biggest crime category in this city year in, year out is theft. The biggest crime category. We're down about 1,000 crimes. We're 8% down. Now, statistically, that's better. But if you're one of the 10,000 people who was victimized, you probably don't want to hear that. If you're walking around anywhere in this city and you have a bad experience, you probably don't care about the statistics. So we have to minimize those bad experiences. That doesn't happen without people. That doesn't happen without investments. And those investments don't happen without leadership. So we need you all to support it. We hear all the time, we want more from this police department. Let me tell you, we are up to the challenge. We are up to that challenge. All we ask is just support us, hold us accountable, but support us. That's all we ask. And it will get better, because it's getting better. The mayor and I stood right here in 2021 after one of the worst nights in my policing career, when these stores were looted. She made a commitment and I made a commitment. And I believe we've delivered on that promise. We upped deployment. People felt better. This last holiday season was a great holiday season as far as the experiences in this Union Square. Not to say that we're perfect. I want to be clear about that. But I've heard day in and day out that things got better. What I pledge to you as your police chief, that we have the mayor's back, we have your back, and we're going to continue in that direction. The members of the San Francisco Police Department are with you, and we need you to be with us. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all the people that have made things better. We have a lot of work to do. Thank you for the leadership of our mayor. And with that, I want to turn it over to Amanda Eakin, the board chair of SFMTA. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Scott. Good afternoon, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for caring about our downtown. Thank you for caring about our city and being invested in the economic recovery of our city. I work downtown. I've worked downtown for over 2 decades. Very close by here on O'Farrell Street for several years, and I would now work on Sutter and Montgomery. I think it's quite fitting that we are here today talking about an investment in Powell Street, and I'll tell you why. 2 of our world-famous cable car lines run on Powell Street, and they use a small format cable car that is only operable from one end. What that means is the cable car has to, at each end of the line, go on down to Market Street, and it has to get on a turntable, and it has to turn around. It has to reverse direction. What we're talking about here today with this investment in Powell Street is hoping for that same turnaround. We need to reverse direction from where we are now, and we need to get back on track to recover downtown and to be the great city that we know that we are. The SFMTA knows that a thriving Powell Street is critical to downtown's economic recovery, and that is why we are so pleased to partner with the mayor to make this investment in Powell Street. 6 million people ride our cable cars every year, and if y'all didn't know, this year is the 150th anniversary of the invention of the cable car right here in San Francisco, and we hope millions and millions more will want to come from around the world to ride on our cable cars. Just today, as I was coming up to this event, I saw the people lined up right around that turnaround, wanting to ride our cable cars, wanting to be here. So this investment we're making is going to improve the streetscape and design, create a welcoming connection between a very critical transit hub at Powell Street, Muni, and BART, welcoming people into this iconic Union Square neighborhood. Now, it is easy to become discouraged. It is easy to become demoralized, given the challenges we face. What gives me hope, what keeps me feeling encouraged, is how many bright, dedicated, thoughtful people are not giving up on downtown. Instead, they are doubling down on downtown. They are rolling up their sleeves, they are leaning into this challenge, and they're trying to figure out how we solve this. I was privileged to attend an event a couple of months ago with our next speaker, and I was inspired by all of her ideas. All of the ideas are out there around entertainment and events and activations, how we bring people back downtown, and how we create the economic recovery that we all want. So I'm very proud to introduce Marissa Rodriguez, the CEO of the Union Square Alliance, one of those very bright minds leaning into this challenge. And I'm interested to hear what she's going to say about how we get on track. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate that, and I certainly appreciate all that SFMTA is doing to support us. Today is so important. It is so critical. We are at a turning point for our city. And not only that, we're here at this nexus, right? We are 12,000 hotel rooms here in Union Square. We are the retail hub here in Union Square. We are restaurants, the theater district. We are the heartbeat of San Francisco. And on top of that, we are the gateway. You're seeing the cable cars go back and forth and ringing that bell. That is our lifeblood. That is so important. Visitors come from all over the world. We want our San Franciscans back downtown. We want them here in their square. We want our Bay Area residents here. We want visitors here. And we couldn't be more grateful and thankful to our mayor for all of her support, to Supervisor Peskin for his support, to our chief of police for all that the police officers that I see here right now have done to support us. We are thankful to the department heads, like our planning department, which I see the head of our planning department, Rich Hill, is here, and SFMTA, and Rec and Park is here. I saw the chief of the Rangers, Chief Murphy, here. We can't do this alone. We do this as community, all of us. Our voices matter. Let's show everyone that Union Square is not only alive, it is well, it's here to stay, and its heart is beating so strong. I also want to acknowledge our ambassadors. You see them in blue. They're here on the ground, making sure all of you have a wonderful experience. Our ambassadors in orange as well. Like I said, it takes a serious village. And so we are excited that today we are announcing support for our public realm, the Powell Street corridor, a beautiful parklet, something more to welcome all of our visitors, and of course, most importantly, to support existing business those who've weathered this storm, like our art galleries that are along that corridor and other businesses. I see Tammy over here. I know she has a business there as well. These are real lives. These are real stories. This is our community, and we have to make sure we thrive, and we will thrive. I want to thank my board, all the board members that are here as well, and our hotel. I know the hotel council is here. I see Alex Bastian of the hotel council. I know the Nico is here. The Beacon Grand is here. The Westin is here. Your Macy's is here. I saw John Sparks. This is community. This is community saying we are here. We're not giving up. We know that the future is bright. This is a reset moment, and we're excited to be here, and we're ready for it. So we look forward to hearing the positive stories that are going to come out of this about Union Square and our future. We thank you so much for being here. And with that, I want to welcome back our champion, our mayor, Mayor London Breed. Thank you.
Just to wrap up, we've heard some of the stories about things that are closing. But what we didn't hear is about some of the things that are opening. We didn't hear about the new Toys R Us that opened at Macy's last year and is here to stay. We didn't hear about Yves Saint Laurent and Chanel expanding their footprint because they've had record sales in Union Square, and a number of the luxury retailers who are here to stay. We didn't hear about Banana Republic and others moving into this corridor of the Union Square area. No one's talking about the fact that IKEA is going to be opening a store on Market Street. And the fact is, there are other major businesses. Cisco re-signed their lease. Levi's celebrating their anniversary, here to stay, re-signed their lease to remain in San Francisco as their place of their headquarters. A number of businesses and companies are not only doubling down on San Francisco, they're expanding. So while we have a 27% vacancy rate for office space in San Francisco, in the biotech and the life sciences, that rate is less than 5% because this is where people want to be because the talent is here in San Francisco. Just to put it in perspective. So those are the stories that need to get out just as much as the challenges that we know exist, because we know things are changing. They won't stay the same. We won't be the San Francisco we were before the pandemic. We are going through this challenging time, but we will emerge better, and I'm looking forward to that day. And for those of you who want us to fight against the drug cartel in San Francisco, the San Francisco Police Department has openings. So join us and help us fight. Help us do something to make a difference. At the end of the day, we're not giving up. So those folks who don't walk the streets of San Francisco, that don't live in San Francisco, but they want to write about and commentate about San Francisco, I challenge you to come in this city and see what it feels like. I challenge you to come shop at the stores that you're complaining about, which you probably never even stepped foot in the first place. I challenge you to come to our restaurants and to see what's happening. What's not being talked about is we are almost at pre-pandemic levels at our airport, which was voted #1 airport in the country. We are rising in our hotel occupancy rate. And no, we are not where we want to be, but we are going to get better and stronger than ever. So let's put that positivity out the air. Let's not let somebody else write our story. And as I said in my State of the City address, they better write in pencil when they try to write the obituary of San Francisco, because they're going to have another thing coming when they see how this city, this beautiful, amazing city, continues to rise and become better and stronger than ever. Thank you all so much for being here.